My father married my closest friend, and now they expect me to embrace it. Up until recently, I thought my life was fairly ordinary. My dad and I shared a tight bond, or so I believed, until my mother passed away 3 years ago. Her battle with cancer was grueling, and after she was gone, it felt like the thread connecting us unraveled. My dad transformed after her death. He grew distant, threw himself into his job, and seemed like a stranger. Still, I never could have predicted what happened next. It all began one day while I was mindlessly scrolling through Instagram. My best friend since high school, Sarah, posted a picture from what looked like a stunning outdoor venue. She was dressed in a wedding gown, radiant. At first, I assumed it was some kind of bridal photo shoot. Then I read the caption, "Together Forever." Standing beside her, dressed in a sharp tuxedo, grinning like he'd hit the jackpot, was my dad. I stared at my phone, frozen, my mind refusing to accept what I was seeing. Was this a prank? A strange photo shoot? A cruel joke? The longer I looked, the more undeniable it became. My dad and my best friend, married. Shock hit first, followed by a wave of betrayal, anger, and grief. My stomach churned. My dad hadn't even hinted at dating anyone, let alone Sarah. And Sarah, she never mentioned being in a relationship, much less with him. I fired off a text to her, "Sarah, what's going on?" No response. Minutes stretched into hours, silence, so I called her. Her voice was infuriatingly calm. "I was going to tell you, I promise," she said. "When?" I snapped. "After the honeymoon," she kept saying things like, "It just happened, and you'll understand someday." Understand what? That you secretly married my dad and didn't even invite me. Then came the audacity. "You should be happy for us." Happy. I hung up, unable to form a coherent response. Then my dad called. I almost ignored it, but anger and curiosity won out. "Why didn't you tell me?" I demanded. He sighed as if I were the inconvenience. "I didn't want to burden you," he said. "You've been through enough." Burden me? How was hiding his marriage to my best friend supposed to help? I asked why I wasn't even invited to the wedding. His answer: "It was a private ceremony, just us and a few close people." So I wasn't close enough anymore. Great. The more he spoke, the worse it got. "Sarah and I bonded over losing your mom. She's been such a comfort." Comfort. She was my support, not his. Looking back, the clues were there. About a year ago, Sarah started coming over to our house more often. She'd say it was to check on me or keep me company, but now I see she spent more time with my dad than with me. She'd throw out compliments, too many. "Your dad's so insightful. He's in amazing shape for his age." I thought she was just being kind. Now I feel like an idiot. Worse, I can't shake the suspicion that this began before my mom died. I've been piecing things together, and some details don't add up. My mom used to make offhand remarks about Sarah being too comfortable around my dad. She'd laugh it off, but now I wonder if she sensed something I missed. After that call, I blocked them both, Sarah and my dad, on every platform. I couldn't handle their excuses. I told myself I needed space, but really I couldn't bear hearing them. Then, that night, my dad showed up at my door, looking infuriatingly calm, holding a gift bag. I didn't let him in, just stood in the doorway, arms folded, waiting for an explanation. "I know this is tough," he began, "but you need to accept this. Sarah's family now." Family. He said it like it was a sacred word. Then he handed me the gift bag. Inside was a framed photo of their wedding, them standing under a floral arch, beaming like they hadn't just shattered my world. "You should display this," he said, as if it were a generous gesture. I lost it. I told him to leave and not return until he acknowledged how wrong this was. He left, but not before saying, "You'll come around. I know you will." It felt more like a warning than encouragement. I haven't spoken to either of them since. How do you even begin to process this? My dad married my best friend, and they think I'm the one being unreasonable. Am I? Should I be happy for them? I don't know if I'll ever forgive them. Update: I thought the wedding was the worst of it, but I was wrong. Last week, my dad dropped another bombshell. They want me to call Sarah Mom. Yes, my best friend since I was 14, the one I shared clothes with and worked on school projects with, is now my dad's wife, and they think I should address her as my mother. I'm torn between laughing, crying, or fleeing to a deserted island forever. After the Instagram wedding fiasco, I went no contact with both of them. I blocked their numbers, ignored their attempts to reach out, and skipped a family dinner my dad tried to guilt me into attending. I thought if I stayed silent, they'd get the message. They didn't. A week ago, my dad showed up at my apartment unannounced. I didn't want to let him in, but he wouldn't leave, so I relented. He walked in with a plate of cookies, saying, "Sarah baked these for you," as if that would fix everything. "Why are you here, Dad?" I asked, not in the mood for games. He sat on my couch and launched into a speech about family. We're a unit now. Sarah loves you. It's time to let go of the past. Then came the kicker. She's your stepmother now, so it'd mean a lot if you called her mom. I stared, convinced I'd misheard. You want me to call Sarah, my best friend, mom? I asked, just to be sure. She's your stepmother, he said, like it was perfectly reasonable. It's a sign of respect, Sarah, and I think it'll help you move forward. Respect. The nerve of him to demand respect for a relationship that started who knows when, possibly while my mom was still alive. Respect for marrying someone who was like a sister to me. I told him there was no way I'd ever call her mom. His response, "You're acting childish." Then Sarah walked in. Apparently, she'd been waiting in the car and decided to join the conversation. She sat beside my dad, clutching his hand like they were in a cheesy rom-com, and started talking in that soft, patronizing tone she uses when she wants something. "I know this is hard," she said, "but I love your dad and I love you. I'm not trying to replace your mom, but I hope we can have a new kind of bond like mother and daughter." I snapped. "Sarah, you're not my mom. You're barely even my friend anymore." Her face fell for a moment before she hit me with, "You're being selfish. This is bigger than you. It's about family." Family, that word felt like a slap. I told them to leave and they did, but not before my dad muttered, "You'll regret this attitude one day." After they left, I couldn't stop replaying it all. How did we get here? Were there signs I missed? I thought back to the past year, Sarah coming over more often, always finding reasons to talk to my dad, staying late to help with dishes. I trusted her completely. Now it all feels so obvious. How was I so clueless? I've also noticed how manipulative they've become. My dad keeps playing the grieving widower card, acting like his relationship with Sarah is some epic love story I should celebrate. And Sarah, she's turned into this picture-perfect wife, posting about their happy family on social media, pretending everything's fine. It's infuriating. Worse, she's been contacting my extended family behind my back, spinning her version of events. My cousin called, asking why I wasn't happy for my dad. Apparently, Sarah's been telling people I'm struggling to adapt and need time. She's making herself the victim, and some relatives are buying it. I feel like I'm going insane. Everyone keeps telling me to move on and be happy for them. But how? How do you get over your best friend marrying your dad and then expecting you to call her mom? It's like a terrible TV drama, except it's my reality. Final update. If you thought my dad secretly marrying my best friend was bad, hold on. Because what I learned at their baby shower makes the wedding seem like a minor hiccup. I didn't even want to go, but something nagged at me, urging me to attend. Thank goodness I did, because what I discovered changed everything. It started with a text from my dad, not really an invitation, but a guilt trip. "It would mean so much to Sarah if you came to the baby shower. She wants you to be part of our family." As if they hadn't already crossed every line. I ignored it, but then Sarah texted, "I hope you'll come. The baby deserves you in their life." The baby. Not her, not my dad, just the baby. It felt manipulative, but it worked. I kept wondering if I was being unfair, if I owed this unborn child something. So I went not to make peace, but because something felt off. The timing of their romance, the rush to get me to accept it, and now a baby, it all seemed too convenient. I needed answers. The shower was at my dad's house, my old home, now unrecognizable with balloons, banners, and pastel decorations. The theme was "A Little Miracle Arrives." It made my skin crawl. The guests were a mix of family, friends, and strangers, with Sarah at the center, glowing and basking in attention. My dad followed her around, grinning at her every word. It was sickening. I stayed on the sidelines, observing, listening. People gushed, "You two are perfect together, and this baby's so lucky." I bit my tongue. Then I overheard something that stopped me cold. Sarah was talking to her mom, who I always thought was harmless, when I caught her saying, "At least now you're set for life no matter what." Set for life. What did that mean? Sarah laughed and said, "You know me, Mom, I always have a plan B, a plan B." My suspicions grew. I started mingling, pretending to be supportive, but I was digging for information. The more I heard, the clearer it became. Sarah wasn't in this for love, she was after security. I cornered Sarah in the kitchen while she was grabbing snacks. "You and my dad seem so happy," I said, keeping my tone light. "It all happened so fast, though. When did it start?" She froze for a moment before flashing her fake smile. "Oh, you know, it just grew. After your mom passed, we got closer. It felt right." "Right," I echoed. "And the baby. Was that planned, or—" I let the question linger. Her smile wavered. "What are you implying?" I leaned closer, lowering my voice. "I think you know exactly what I mean, Sarah. Does my dad know the full story?" She tried to laugh it off, but I saw the fear in her eyes. Before she could answer, my dad walked in and the moment passed. But I wasn't done. The real shock came later near the dessert table. I overheard Sarah talking quietly with her new best friend, not me, clearly. Her friend said, "Are you sure you don't want to tell him? It's better if he hears it from you." Sarah brushed it off. "It doesn't matter. He'll never find out." That was it. I stormed over, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. "Tell who what, Sarah? What doesn't my dad need to know?" The room went quiet. Sarah paled and my dad looked confused. "What's going on?" he asked, looking between us. I didn't let her dodge. "Why don't you tell everyone, Sarah, or should I?" She stammered. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Really?" I pressed. "Let's start with the baby's paternity. Is it even my dad's?" The silence was deafening. My dad's confusion turned to fury. "What is she talking about, Sarah?" he demanded. Sarah tried to deny it, but her friend looked guilty. My dad kept pushing, and finally Sarah cracked. She admitted there was a chance the baby wasn't his. She'd been seeing someone else, a younger guy, around the same time their relationship began. I couldn't believe it. After betraying me, destroying our family, and playing the victim, she wasn't even sure the baby was my dad's. My dad stormed out, leaving Sarah in tears, and the party fell apart. I left without another word. I wish I could say I felt triumphant, but I just felt hollow. My dad got what he deserved, but it didn't make this any easier. Sarah's betrayal cut deeper than I imagined, and now our family is more fractured than ever.